Hello there, I'm Pooley, and today I have the FMS 1100 millimeter Zero. I am quite the fan, which is weird. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, so I kind of have, and I was in aviation the entire time, so I kind of have a love for military birds. However, when I first started flying, or let's say even before I started flying, look at that, that's a cool picture. Cool pictures all around for the record. When I first started flying RC, I wasn't too much interested in any old school warbirds because like it was just like, ugh, what I want that thing for, you know. I grew to appreciate them much more and actually kind of love some of the body styles. The oddest thing about that is the one that's the most hype, the Mustang. I could never wrap my mind around the body style with the little vent under the bottom and stuff. Oddly enough, like I said, I was really infatuated with the front style of a FW190. Just looked mean with the two guns up top and stuff. So anyway, never had much love for the Zero, but I do have more love for it now than I ever did. So when I saw this and I saw it in the 1100 millimeter size, Mr. Larry, the person y'all, you know, he shoots for me a lot of times, he helps out, you know, and all in all, my flying buddy, he at the beginning when we were buying the little 400 millimeter warbirds, which I really need to do more videos on that stuff. He got the Zero. Like it was just one of them days when I was like, all right, they got this one and this one. Which one you want? You know? And he's like, give me this one. So he got, it was at the local shop and I was just going with what he had in stock, you know, wasn't going through any kind of extra work to order nothing online and such. You know, the local guy had it. We supported him and he ended up with the Japanese Zero. So having said that, we were flying together. I had a P-51 red tail, very, very into the history of the red tail. So Mr. Larry got the Zero, and therefore I was very accustomed to seeing that Zero zipping and buzzing by back and forth a lot because we were always flying them. We were flying them quite a bit once we realized how great they are. And a lot of the older guys, not to say that I'm young by any measure or any decent amount of years or something, you know, just general talk here. But a lot of the older guys like so against them, like they were like sacrilegious or something for the RC hobby. And I felt like the total opposite of that. So I had said all that to say he got the Zero. I had a P-51, then I ended up getting a P-40 and a Corsair. I had a few of them. And shoot, now I'm down to just that original P-51 red tail, which is so old. It didn't even have some of the newer technology that they have in these things now. But anyway, I can't connect it to my Spectrum, which is one of the big things that I can't stand. But it's my original one, so I'm keeping it until it doesn't fly anymore. As a matter of fact, I'd probably replace the motor, to be honest with you, even if it didn't fly anymore. Little sack of stuff stuffed in a hole. And that might conclude the entire unboxing. I'm gonna get this tidied up. You don't need to see this on video. So I got everything sprawled out. Don't need to see me so much anymore. Let's get you guys on this pretty colored satin finish warbird. So the manual was completely folded over when I got out. I heard some people whine about that quite a bit. If you're one of them, here's a remedy for that. You take it and you fold it the other way. Not that big a deal. Even if it's a big fold down the center, you fold it. It's a temporary thing in life. You fold it the other direction and kind of get it where you can just read the book. All you need to do is read this book. You don't need to spend the rest of your life dealing with it. So one time reading it, you're probably done. So if they fold it, no big deal. At least that's my opinion. Take that for what you may or leave it. Shows you the part spiraled out. Then it goes into horizontal tail. It's just showing putting the rod that's right here and in. This kind of looks like a similar install to the 1100 millimeter what is that bird? FW. I just was talking about the FW 190. I have that bird, and it'd be cool to fly those two together. But anyway, that one is cool, but it is a 3S only bird. I don't know if this one is a 3 and 4. Let's look on the box. There we go. 1100 millimeter, 40 amp. Got a 40 amp in it. It's probably taking a 4S. Recommended battery, 3S. So I'm sure people with that 40 amp speed control are probably going to be flying 4S in this, to be honest with you. I'll check the KVs to see if it's something crazy, or if I feel uncomfortable, I'll probably put the amp meter on it and see where I'm at. I do have 3S batteries. I just kind of don't like dealing with 3S. I'd rather do everything 4S, and then I'm kind of on one accord, but that's only my opinion. Like I said, you can't be in this hobby and end up not running into it. Like my FMS 800 millimeter warbirds. Oh, I only have one, saying it like it's a bunch. But my Corsair, if you look back at my older videos, you'll see where I flew that thing quite a bit. It lives in my truck right now. That 800 millimeter Corsair, I still love. I ended up putting landing gear on it, which changed everything about it to me, made me fall in love with it again. And I still, till today, I'll pull that thing out quite often, and it just flies so gentle and cool, you know, whatever. And I just crashed it like a few weeks ago, coming down, and can't remember what happened. It was a real light crash, but it broke the prop, which that's an aggravation because those FMS props are so expensive. Can't get like a two blade. I guess I could get a two blade, but so what I'm looking at in the bag here is, looks like I have a prop adapter or something to go on the spinner, I would imagine. I have 3 long screws, probably for main wing. And then I have, if I can ever get them picked, oh my goodness, it's turning into a fiasco just to get them picked up. All right, 3 long screws and 4 short. It looks like this tail section takes 2 screws. And there's only one other size. I know it's not the long ones, but number 3 by 10 millimeter. So this looks a lot longer than 10 millimeters, but it's probably not. It's probably exactly 10 millimeters. Yep. So I'm going to drop it in. Now, odd choice of location, but they have this screwing in from the top. Generally, you want to have non-scale looking things like some weird screws on the top of the tail area. You'd want to have that hidden underneath the bottom when you can have a choice. And I'm sure I didn't mistakenly put it because the clevis is down there, so it's not like it's a mistake or anything. This is the correct way and all. So I am going to do my normal 1-2 of silence and let you see me assemble it, and then I'll talk to you in a little bit. Now, I'm gonna break silence and slow the video down again because I showed you the broken piece in the video, but these little doors that come off for the guns, they're on there so good, and I can already see, I'm trying to pry it up, but I'm putting stress little on the foam, just trying to get it open. I don't understand, how did they possibly expect you to get this in? Like, you know, I guess I'm just used to the refinement from other companies, and I have never done, the only FMS bird I have done is the F-18, and that was a very long time ago, and it wasn't great. I do remember that. So I want to know how they expect you to get this out of here to glue it back. Like, the other side broke, but look how much trouble I had to do just to get that out. That should have been, look, it's still glued. Like, I don't understand how you're supposed to get this big piece of plastic in there and not mess up everything. That is just terrible. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. All right, all my surfaces are moving in the right direction. On 3S, it seems very powerful. That's weird, because usually I feel like it's nothing. Gear work, flap work. Go ahead and demonstrate the flaps again.
Mid flaps. Flaps down. Flaps. Flaps up.
Gear.
Gear up.
Love those little doors that close. My little door here doesn't seat perfectly straight. See that?
Gear down.
No suspension at all in these, so hard tires and nothing to cushion you at all from a landing. I will say that this is a little bit different than what you're used to if you just did the E-Flight stuff. I love the way this look. I'm looking at this in the camera. It's pretty cool. I like the white tips. That's definitely, I never noticed that on another Zero. I guess I never really put much stock into them. The way the motor cowling is fairly pretty cool. You see that, all the little exhaust ports that are coming out. That's pretty unique and different. It's weird that it's got motor details in the front too. But it's weird that this one never gets much love. It's got a little intake right there that's blocked by foam. They should have let that feed air in, but whatever. Got some air exit holes in the back, which is weird because there's nowhere for it to take air in. Maybe it does though, through here. And looks like it's got two little slots right there. I didn't even notice this. But the little slot right there, probably for like the gun. They got a gun on the wing and a gun where the pilot is, so. And it looks like those don't have guns, obviously, but they feed air in. But you can see like a little gun right there, like just a littlest bit of barrel. And it just stops right there, so maybe that's authentic though. I wouldn't know. If you got a historian who's watching the video, please put it in the comments so people can know. It was kind of hard getting the wing on, so you had this little bit of paint chip off. I don't kind of get why they did it the way they did, but this little piece that I was just talking about, this little duct, comes to the back here and it goes over top of the wing, and it's kind of hard to seat it. The split flaps fit in quite well. I don't have an issue with those. Usually they, they're usually not the greatest, to be honest with you, as far as how they seat on. But it's definitely better looking from the top when you don't see that whole hinge. I could see I'm gonna have to adjust my wheel, so that's just something I'll probably just play with off camera because it usually takes a while. But other than that, everything went together good. There is a very loose motor. You see this? I do not like that. That is ridiculous. It's usually pretty hard to get to these motors. I see a screw on the side right here. So maybe I'll have to investigate that because, like, to me, that just feels way too loose. I mean, look at it. Why would that be that loose out of the box? I will say my 800mm Warbird, the Corsair, it was ridiculously loose. Also, I contact FMS and they tell me some complete foolishness. But anyway, unimportant. So I know not to even worry about trying to contact FMS about something like that because, stupid. And that was when I was just beginning. I know better now. I'm probably gonna see about tightening that up because that's just ridiculous. The housing is loose and the motor is loose. So not much else to say about it. I guess I might take this apart and see what it looks like, and I'll show you if there's something remarkable about when I take that off, if I can glue it back or something, but it is too loose for my liking. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you at the field. All right, I removed that cone from the FMS and take a look. It's it's just that loose. There's nothing missing. There's nothing broken. It's just that loose, which is the loosest I have seen from any company. And like I said, I did have the exact same thing happen with my Corsair, so this might be what they're accustomed to doing, but I don't think it's all that cool for it to be that loose. So I might just put a little blob of hot glue on one side and the other just to, there's a little relief right here. I don't know what that's for, but it's almost made like it could recess the motor back in there because there's some more screw holes. You know, you could turn it and push it back if you need to do for different applications. So maybe it's a multi-purpose motor mount. But it needs to go down and left, and it seems very dramatically down and left. So I don't know. I'm just put a dab of glue in there, call it a day.